I used to have a lot of tantrums. And mind you, I was not the type of person to have a tantrum.
How can you refrain from being so angry when you know that that person is dead wrong?
Not because I'm trying to correct them. Like, it might be vital to the conversation to understand that where you're coming from is just incorrect.
You know, you know how you see those scenes in a movie when they take their hand and swipe everything off the dresser, including the TV? Oh, one time I tore up a whole kitchen.
Yeah, but now you gotta buy new dishes, so that's the problem.
That's why I do paper plates now.
So let's go back to real quick about this not harboring emotions past an argument. That's, to me, that's what I'm like striving to get to.
I started this thing called the positive campaign. If you notice with arguments, no one hears each other. Nothing's getting absorbed.
I will try to go through hoops and fire to prove my point and to prove that they're dead wrong. I'm like, nope, look, it says it right here in black and white. UNITY, man.
So that means that's an actual character flaw.
Let me ask you this.
What
listening. Does the word wrong mean? Wait. We gotta answer the question.
Incorrect information.
Right.
Now, what does dead wrong mean? That means very
not right.
Absolutely, definitively very incorrect. But the dead wrong part, are we not addressing that?
And it shows lack of self-control. It shows lack of emotional intelligence.
Do y'all know how to be angry and not loud and animated and demonstrative?
Oh, I gotta answer that question.
And also, while you're answering, in those cases, is it still a low vibration?
People would tell my spouse that Keisha wasn't like that before she met you, but it was embedded in my soul. Like, I literally was like, you know, you know how you see those scenes in a movie where they take their hand and swipe everything off the dresser, including the TV.
Yeah, I've known you to throw a dish or two.
Oh, one time I tore up a whole kitchen.
Yeah. But now you got to buy new dishes, so that's the problem.
So that's why I do paper plates now.
Let me ask you. So let's go back to real quick about this not harboring emotions past an argument, or not harboring anger past an argument. That's, to me, that's what I'm like striving to get to.
Okay.
Would you say that's intentional in your relationship, or is that just where you are in life? And if so, did you instill that in Troy?
So what happened was I started this thing called the positive campaign, where we started, if one of us was talking negative to the other person, the other person would say, stop, be positive, because it was starting to affect just regular conversation. We could be talking about cereal and the conversation would turn into something totally different. So it got to a point where we had to do something because it just became irritating. But what it is, you said something one day, the time before last when I was in North Carolina, you said you realized that sometimes when your spouse would be mad about something at the present, it really wasn't at the present, it was something in the past.
Oh, always.
Yeah, so I think the key also too, going back to your original question, is that if the problem doesn't get resolved, if it's still like the lump under the carpet that everybody's walking past, then emotions start building, and you could be sitting there having watching a movie with this person, and the feelings are festering in your soul. And then you're saying, okay, the next time something happened, I'll discuss it, or when it's the right time, I'll bring it up, because you're trying to avoid having another argument. But meanwhile, you're angry at this person. And so the key to that is that you have to try to find a time to say to this person, and they have to receive it. Like, listen, I know 2 weeks ago we had an argument about, let's say, the toothpaste. I'm just being sarcastic. And we never resolved it. And I think we need to talk about it because it's really bothering me. And I feel like I can't move forward. I feel stuck right now because we haven't resolved that issue. And sometimes I find that, and because we do a lot of counseling, that people have a hard time with their spouse where their spouse don't want to talk about it. Their spouse don't want to harbor or don't want to keep this ruminating over the same subject. But the problem is if the subject hasn't been resolved, then it's gonna be like a wound that keeps being opened up.
I feel like that's a man thing though. I feel like men don't like to bring up old stuff. They just want to leave it in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all, even when you said you bring up to each other that, hey, that's a negative topic, can we, change it to positivity? That's all subjective. So what happens when, he or you say, hey, that's a negative subject, and to them it's not negative? The same way, what happens when the woman feels like the issue is not resolved and the man is like, yeah, it is, like we came to a conclusion about it. It's subjective. So what do you do to navigate that?
So what I had to do, this is one of my methods. This is for women, and it could be for men. And actually, no, this is for both men and women because what happened was I realized that my husband started adopting my tactic, where when an argument starts, somebody has to stop. So I say that to say, if I notice that there's a disagreement happening, if I want to avoid us having an argument, I will refrain from even talking at times. I'll just say, you're right, for the moment, because I know that if this person is not ready to receive the information the way I view it, I don't want to go through an argument again because that's negative energy keep being brought back up. But I say that to say, also too, if you notice for arguments, no one hears each other. Nothing is getting absorbed.
Right.
So you have to find the time where both of you are saying, okay, now let's sit down and have a discussion about this topic that one of us has been having problems with, or both of us.
Well, let me put a little spin on it. Just a little bit, because we're trying to figure out, how do we stay calm when you know your partner is wrong? That was a bar. Yes. So that's it. So I'm gonna pose that question to y'all. Like, how can you refrain from being so angry when you know that person is dead wrong?
Okay, let me answer that real quick, Josh. One of my tactics I do, this is very helpful. Pick and choose your battles. So I remember this happened the other day where my hubby said something, and in my mind I knew he was absolutely wrong. But I said to myself, now if I hop in there and say, no, you're wrong, I could even Googled it to show that he was wrong. I let him be. I'm like, because first of all, the information was not going to kill him. It's not like he was going to go take a test and fail the test. Right. And I knew if I had said, no, that's not right, it might have turned into something bigger than the damn subject. So I pick and choose my battles where I'm like, yes, dear, you're right. And it's not me being submissive. It's me saying, I don't have to nitpick on every little thing that you say. Because after a while, the person just feels like they're getting corrected all day long because you feel like you need to be my dictionary or my Google telling me that I was wrong.
That's a strong point too. Yeah.
Very good point.
Even the energy, who you don't even have the energy after a while. You're like, oh, it's just all right. You're right.
Yeah. I need to get to that level because I'm I'm the opposite. I'm like, nope, look, it says it right here in black and white. UNITY. Man, that's
the unity.
That's the unity. Nah, all jokes aside, like I will try to go through hoops and fire to prove my point and to prove that they're dead wrong. Not because I'm trying to correct them, but because like it might be vital to the conversation to understand that where you're coming from is just incorrect. Like we might not be able to now if it's something about like what you said in a basic something that they're not gonna fail a test or anything like that. But if it's a deep subject, oh, I'm gonna prove it.
So I'm gonna say something to you
In a calm
because
way. I'm gonna try.
but I'm gonna say something to you
Go ahead.
because we're spiritualists. So you
Mhm.
understand that's your ego, right? You
Sure.
do understand this is your ego.
Sure.
So you're being triggered by something. So that means that's an actual character flaw.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
I'm
What does
listening.
the word wrong mean? We still gotta focus on the wrong part is the wrong part,
I
right?
gotta throw this in there, Josh.
The
And
wrong part is the not right part, right?
Josh, I'm gonna throw this out there.
Wait, 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 wait. We gotta answer the question.
Okay,
What does wrong mean?
not
Incorrect
not
information.
being
Now,
right.
now, now, what does dead wrong mean?
You
That means very,
absolutely not right.
absolutely, definitively very incorrect. So that is the wrong part, right? Now, the effects, the domino effect of it may be, yes, this is what, begets the ego and all that other stuff. But the dead wrong part, are we not addressing that?
So okay, I got two things to say about you,
Go ahead.
and I'm gonna reveal to the audience who you are to me.
Talk it.
You are my brother-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew you from you when you were small. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I admire about you, out of many of your siblings,
Mm-hmm.
if you knew you were wrong, I mean, if you knew you were right, you were gonna go the extra mile to prove that you were right. You
Yes.
didn't like that. And
Yes.
I'm gonna say something. If you don't feel comfortable, we can edit this part out of the show.
Okay.
I remember you got robbed,
No, let's talk about it.
and you was negotiating with the robber, like, how you gonna rob me? Like, you know,
Yeah.
like who
Yeah.
does that? Did they
Yeah.
have a gun to you?
Yeah. I was robbed at gunpoint, and I definitely tried to negotiate.
And you were young. How old were you at this
I
time?
had to be mid-teens, probably
So
15.
this has been part of your characters
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
you young.
You know what's crazy about that? So, I was robbed at gunpoint, like she said, and I had my friend with me, and it was two robbers. The other robber had a box cutter to his throat. Um,
Mm.
I hope he sees this. And the dude ran. He ran. So, I was tight about getting robbed and all that other stuff. And I went to my big brother, Troy, to try and find him and all that. But my beef was with my friend. How you gonna run instead of sit there and just
Oh,
come
so
on,
he left you with the gun pointing to you.
dude pointing the gun in my and I'm surprised the dude didn't just turn the gun and fire at the dude who ran.
Yeah, yeah.
Got real dark. But yeah, my boy ran. So and he outran, luckily, the dude with a box cutter. In hindsight, that was probably a good idea on his part because I don't think he got robbed, but dude took my chain and all that.
And you was like, and what was you saying to him with the negotiation?
So my thing was this, because I was pretty broke, and this is back with the Velcro wallets, and I might have had like probably $12 in the wallet.
Yeah.
My sister Nikki had just gotten me that chain for my birthday.
Mm.
I was like, "Look, bruh, like you got me fair. This is what I got on me. You could take whatever you want, but please just don't take the chain, whatever you, because that's what he was asking for."
Mm.
I was like, boom, don't take the chain. I was like, I know people here, I know people there. We can go get you this money. We could go get you that. Don't take my chain. Whatever you do not take my chain. Of course, he's not going to take $12 in a Velcro colorful wallet over a gold chain. Man, Nikki never got me a birthday gift after that. And that was 30 years.
Wah, wah, wah.
No, I'm playing. But yeah, I tried.
But I say I brought that up for a reason because that's been part of your genetic makeup. That's been part of you.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, where do you think that stemmed from? Because now you were in your teens at that time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Because obviously, I don't know if you were born into this world like that. Did you have that already in your system when you came out the womb? Or was this something that happened in your past, in your childhood, that if you could remember at all, you might even remember, that made you say, if no matter what, I'm not going to let people get over on me, or I'm not going to let somebody think that they can just tell me something, I'm supposed to swallow that pill?
There's that, you know what? It revealed a lot about me, and not just that. Um, the civility in me, because I was thinking about my sister the whole time. She got me this chain. And this whole time I'm thinking I don't want to let her down as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not just
Yeah.
I'm not going to let somebody get over on me. And then I'm thinking about friendship and the terms of friendship and what I would do in this situation, how I wouldn't have ran on my friend and this, that, and the third. I'm also thinking the value of my chain. And I'm 15 years old. I shouldn't be thinking of the value of my chain versus the, the money that's in my pocket. Like I'm just thinking a lot of things. And for some reason at 15 years old, this was all revealed in one transaction, which is crazy.
Mm.
And none of it was being scared. Like I never feared for my life. And I'm talking about the barrel of the gun was literally right in front of my eye. Never felt scared. I guess I snapped into like a survival mode, if that's what you want to call it. And
Yes.
I guess those type of things is what kind of reveals you.
Okay.
Interesting.
And y'all know me, I'm a comedian. I try to joke my way out of it. And I'm like, yo, my man, yo, I got this Velcro wallet. Boom, boom, boom. You ain't got to do all that. Take this $12. I'm joking with him. And he ain't laughing. He's like,
Yeah.
this ain't funny. Like, give up your shit or it's over for you. And I'm
And he's
like,
like, this is real shit. I'm about to kill you.
next thing you know, bang, I'm dead. But he didn't kill me.
Ah,
Here I
that
am.
was, yeah, nah, that wasn't in the cards for you. Not that night. It
That
was
was,
more of a life lesson. But
yep.
but you brought up a good point. You are a comedian, as you can see at audience. This man is hilarious. So he'll
Gosh.
definitely keep you on your toes all night long. But I just want to ask you guys, and actually I'm gonna present this question to you, Keish, because I really want the audience to have an understanding spiritually about why we go through different emotions. Is there ever a time that you think anger is useful in an argument with your spouse?
Woo, child. No. Well, it depends on who the person is. Meaning, there are some people, I know some people who are just very calm, cool, and collective, and they literally talk like this in an argument with their spouse or whoever they're arguing with. And it's just very monotone, very peaceful. Whether they get their point across or not, they're not changing. Sometimes the person that they're arguing with need to see another side to them for them to understand, oh, this is very serious. And if you're
Yeah.
acting like that, then something's off. And prime example, like at my job, I'm like the happy-go-lucky person. I try to be neutral with everyone, especially with the patients. And ever so often, something happens and my voice gets really loud, and I don't give two shits who the fuck it is. I'm not like I had one patient who was beating up on the tech, and I went off. I'm like, of course I didn't use curse words, but I'm like, how dare you keep hitting the tech like that? And when my voice got real loud, everybody stopped. So
Yeah.
if I had said to the tech, if I had said to the patient, can you please stop hitting her? That's not nice. No, you. What in actuality, I did that first,
Mhm.
and she just kept going bam, bam. So then my voice got loud, and when my voice got loud, the patient stopped.
Mm.
Going back to relationships, I'm gonna be transparent about myself. So I used to be that person that would throw things off the dresser. And so in my case, anger did not work. Anger was not necessary. Anger was actually a negative energy around me that was penetrating my soul and making me exude this personality. So then what happens, and so prime example, Janine, when we talk to our clients, we emphasize to them that sometimes anger makes you look like the loser.
Mhm.
So if someone is screaming their head off, now you look like a nutcase. Now, no, regardless of what comes out your mouth, you just look like the loser because now you're acting erratic, and whatever comes out your mouth is not making any sense. So my opinion on that, for me, I'm just speaking for myself. I know anytime I've gotten really loud, And I love my hubby. He be sitting there like real quiet. He like, "Are you okay?" Because I'm not talking to you like that. Now
Wow.
I'm sweating, bonnet on or off, and I know what was coming out my mouth was right.
Yeah.
But on the other side, nobody thought it was right. I look like a lunatic.
There's a lot of people that think that anger is the way to go, right? And we all, and I'm sure you would all agree that it's something that we're trained to do, is to be angry because you think that is getting your point across more. But one thing that Keisha and I, we teach people about the vibrational scale, and anger is actually low on the vibrational scale. When you give off anger, it's really truly a negative energy, like you said. It's this negative entity, sometimes an entity, sometimes it's just negative energy that, like you were just mentioning, after everything is said and done, you're the one that's looking like the fool because you've exerted all of this, whatever it is energy just to get your point across, and you look foolish because it's nothing positive. Obviously it's the opposite of positivity, is bringing forth negativity in any type of argument that you have. And it shows lack of self-control. It shows lack of emotional intelligence. And what your husband did, Keish, he's the one that showed emotional intelligence, because he let you act the fool and look silly, and then came back and asked you, are you crazy?
Well, let me ask y'all this.
I was slamming doors and everything. What you say, Josh?
Let me ask y'all this, because he was calm doesn't necessarily mean he wasn't angry. So
Correct.
do y'all know how to be angry and not loud and animated and demonstrative?
Oh, I gotta answer that question. You gotta let me answer that one, because
and also, while you're answering, in those
yeah.
cases, is it still a low vibration?
Good question.
Now that's an interesting point. Well, let me answer the first part first. So I work in corporate. Mm-hmm. And when you work in corporate, especially when you're in leadership, they teach you how to have emotional intelligence. You can have staff members that will say the craziest things to you, and they will be so disrespectful. Or you'll have, clients or patients, because I work in a hospital, that will say the craziest things to you, and you cannot react. And I have seen people in leadership that are literally robots. Literally robots, because they will not react to anything negative or anything spontaneous that comes their way. So you have to be trained in an environment like that. So I had to take that persona on, and I was somebody that was very impulsive, extremely impulsive, and I had to learn how to not overreact, especially in professional environments. Now, is it a negative vibration? It's only a negative vibration on you if you are holding on to the energy surrounding the event. So what that means is you're supposed to have emotional intelligence. You're supposed to bring positivity into conversations, because you have to be the bigger person for somebody that's elevated and somebody that is not sitting on a lower vibration, because your positivity will help, just like how Keisha's husband took control of the conversation and brought a sense of calm into it. You have to be that way in order to sit on a higher vibration. You know that you are not triggered any longer by anything negative. But what happens is, especially when you're being trained in environments like corporate, where you have to deal with certain situations and you know that you want to react, the ghetto wants to come out. If you bring it home with you and you're like, oh, I want to punch that bitch in the face. Oh, you're saying all kinds of weird, wild stuff when you get home. That means the energy still had an effect on you. And then yes, the answer is yes, that energy held you down. It was a forceful energy that held you down, that is still lingering on you because you didn't see the positivity in your response.
Even if they're dead wrong?
Even if they're dead wrong. Even if they're dead wrong. Yeah. You always have to learn how to carry a light, how to carry a positivity, an energy about you where people will look at you and say, why are you nobody can penetrate you. It's a power.
So how do you navigate or draw the line between carrying a positive light and not letting people get over on you? That's because you also have to, I don't want to say establish dominance or like this guard, but there has to be some type of force field of, and maybe that force field is the positive force field. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Um, that people can't penetrate to even feel like they can get over on you.
So let me ask you a question. I'm gonna throw it back at you.
Mhm.
Um, before I answer the question, because there are ways to do it.
Want to learn more about how to die and never come back to this bitch? Check out our exclusive content on our Soul Circle on Patreon.